The Walt Disney Company is going through a new round of layoffs. It's being reported that hundreds of employees in its TV and movie divisions are being laid off in this recent round. Roll this up over at phantompulse.com. You can find the link in the description below. This report comes from Deadline, and they claim the Walt Disney Company has laid off, quote, several hundred employees from marketing divisions in both film and television. Other divisions affected include publicity, casting, and development, as well as Disney's corporate finances. Many of the employees in the film and TV departments are said to be based in Los Angeles. Some of the employees are executives, including Eric Solier, who was the VP of casting at 20th Television. That was previously Fox, 20th Century Fox, that they relabeled after they acquired it or they merged. And then Tony Thompson, the VP of content development at Hulu Originals. Not only are employees being laid off, but some seem to have seen the blood in the water and preemptively left. Deadline reports that Dylan Brander Gunning, the senior vice president of casting, Crystal Holt, the VP series for 20th Television, have also left. Joining them in exiting is VP of drama development at ABC, Hulu, Colin Sapera. Ashley Chang, who was the VP of content development at Hulu, also left to join Amazon MGM Studios. So a number of executives clearly saw what was coming and jumped ship before the layoffs came. The layoffs are not all that surprising, given there have been numerous signs that Disney is not only tightening the belt, but attempting to cut back on its gargantuan costs. At the end of last year, Disney Entertainment co-chairman Alan Bergman explained why the company did not renew the Acolyte. He says, so as it relates to Acolyte, we were happy with our performance, but it wasn't where we needed it to be given the cost structure of that title, quite frankly, to go and make a season 2. So that's the reason why we didn't do that. Translation, it was way too expensive and we didn't get as much return on our investment as what we thought we were going to do. Anyone who thought it was going to be some kind of blockbuster TV show, why would you think that? The show looked absolutely disastrous, and it was terrible. In March, Jeremy Renner also revealed that Disney only offered him half his salary for a second season of Hawkeye. He says they asked me to do a season 2, and they offered me half the money. He would go on and say, this is not Marvel. This is just like Disney, not even really Disney. It's just the penny pinchers, the accountants. I told them to go fly a kite. I mean, just at the insult offer. So we didn't see eye to eye on that. He said, sadly, I still love the character. I'd still love to do it, but I had to defend myself. I didn't ask for any more money, mind you. Just pay me what I made the first season. So it's a little disheartening that that didn't happen, but that's fine. I'm happy to let that go because my body's probably thanking me time and time again that I'm not doing it right now, but we'll see. Even more recently, Andor showrunner Tony Gilroy implied the company had run out of cash, and company executives had informed him that streaming is dead. During an appearance at the ATX Television Festival, he said this, I mean, for Disney, this is $650 million for 24 episodes. I think that's like $27 million an episode, something like that. Insane. Absolutely insane. I never took a note. We said F the Empire in the first season, and they said, can you please not do that? In season 2, they said streaming is dead. We don't have the money we had before. So we fought hard about money, but they never cleaned anything up. That freedom comes with responsibilities. The company's movie business has also struggled mightily over the last few years, despite one-off hits like the live-action Lilo and Stitch. Marvel Studios' recent Thunderbolts film is currently around $100 million in the red. If you go back to October 2024, Carolyn Reed at Forbes noted that Disney had lost nearly $300 million on both the Marvels and Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. I think that was like 2023 when those films came out. It's unclear how much money Lucasfilm has spent, given they haven't even made a film since The Rise of Skywalker, or a Star Wars film at least, which was released in 2019, despite announcing at least half a dozen projects that are in various stages of development. However, Reed reported that the company's Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny lost $130 million. So she reported that back in March 2024. Despite these massive losses and now the ensuing layoffs, it's unclear if the Walt Disney Company has actually learned anything, given the studio is still greenlighting blatantly woke projects like a sex-swapped holes television show for Disney+. So they are obviously suffering from embracing this woke ideology, creating absolutely garbage movies and television shows. But again, I don't think they've really learned that lesson, because they're still greenlighting shows like this sex-swapped holes. they're still doing like woke Marvel movies. The Fantastic Four film looks like it's going to be a total woke disaster. Vanessa Kirby says it's going to explore gender politics. It's been revealed that her character, Sue Storm, is the leader of the Fantastic Four. And not only is she the leader of the Fantastic Four, she's basically the leader of the world, with the director, Matt Chapman, describing her as the UN, like the UN Secretary General of her world. It does not look good. They sex swapped the Silver Surfer. All kinds of massive red flags with that film. And I don't see any changes happening with Marvel whatsoever. We haven't seen any evidence that they're actually changing any of this stuff. I know there's the story, the Marvel Knights story in the comic book, where they're saying that the new Black Panther is a white guy, and people are just kind of memeing off of that. But he's the villain. He's the villain. So they haven't changed. They have not changed whatsoever. They are not going to change. I don't think that they can change. So I expect more and more of this to happen. Now, obviously, there is an audience for this woke stuff. It is just not as big as what the Walt Disney Company hoped it would be. I mean, we see that there is an audience for it. You just look at the people that are watching shows like The Acolyte, things like The Handmaid's Tale that they have over on Hulu, and even the people that are watching their film still, even though it is in decline. People are still indeed going to that, but they're just spending way too much on their television shows and their movies, and they just can't afford to keep doing that. And that is why they're going to continue to lay off people, to make cuts. Because again, I don't think they're really making any changes to bring in more revenue, aside from maybe increasing prices. And that is only a short-term solution. That's a Band-Aid. It doesn't solve the underlying problem. And again, like I said, I don't think the people at Disney can solve the underlying problem, because I think they are they want to perpetuate the problem. And I honestly believe that in many cases. I think a lot of these people that work there are indeed true believers in the woke ideology, and you're not really going to see any changes until you get people who do not buy into that stuff and who are actually going to try to create stories that are going to uplift people, point people towards what is true, good, and beautiful, and that is the opposite of what the Walt Disney Company currently does right now. They point you downwards and try to drag you down with them. But let me know what you guys make of this. Let me know in the comments below. Remember to always be charitable, especially to each other, and to always speak the truth.
Why would you be afraid of the people? Why are you not afraid of God instead of man?